time to meet a new team in the Newsclash for a brand new week. And this time we're meeting various people involved in something called the Big Knit. Now, this was a community effort which created over 12,000 little hats, little mini hats in all sorts of designs, and they raised over £3,500. We're meeting some of the people involved on the show this week, and I'm then, of course, challenging them to our very random quiz. And with me today is Tracy Harris from Age UK Gloucestershire. Hello.
Hello.
So this sounds great. It's the Big Knit. It happened earlier in the year, and you know a lot of knitting groups in the county and how hard they've worked for this.
We certainly do. The Big Knit's actually been going for about 15 years now. This latest campaign, we managed to get more hats than we've ever received before. So it just goes to show how big the crafting community is out there and how they want to help and support us, which is absolutely fantastic. We get 30p for every hat. They go on top of the innocent smoothie bottles, which are now in the shops. So you'll find them in Sainsbury's and Co-op if you want to go and buy one.
And these, you'll see the actual hats knitted
actual
by
hats
actual
are
knitters
on the top.
Yes, in Gloucestershire.
And there's some really interesting designs
that
we see, really creative ones that come in, and we're always surprised when they land.
Yeah. So is there a sort of set pattern? Because you've got to get the right size, haven't you?
There are several patterns that people can access, but some people just make up their own, which is always really interesting. But there's everything from like fruit bowls and animals and pencil tops, all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, any hats will raise that 30p. So if somebody's an experienced knitter and they like the challenge, then they can go for the more complicated ones. But people that just like to knit plain ones, that's just as valuable to us. So brilliant.
Amazing. I know they set a target, but then they beat that target.
We did. We set a target. I think it was, our first one was 8,000, and then we thought, we're going to get 10, and then eventually we got 12,562 to be exact.
Amazing. So it basically means money for the charity, doesn't it?
Yes,
so
it does.
All this knitting going on, all the different groups creating their little hats, which go on the drinks bottles. So you're going to go, you're going to find lots of knitters sort of sidling past the drinks bottles in the supermarket.
As soon as
they can, hat?
Yeah, if they can spot their own.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a great campaign. We probably will have another one next year or the year after. So if people want to continue to knit the hats, they certainly can. It just gives us a head start to the next campaign.
Yeah.
But yes, so they can go out now in the shops and see their work.
And it was all knitted earlier in the year, and now they're in some of those shops.
Yes, yeah.
And what does the money raise to get spent on then?
So our help team, mainly, so they're there to provide support and information and guidance to older people and their families and carers on any aspect of later life, to be honest. So if anyone wants that help, they can reach out to us. But we do need that funding to continue that work. So this is all great for us.
It is, yes. Later in the week, we're going to meet some of the groups who have been very kindly knitting for you and getting the knitting needles out. And I know they find it very valuable, don't they, being part of a group and being part of a big effort like this.
They do. And speaking to some of the people that took part and some of the reasons why they have, I had one lady that she said it really helped her get over a bereavement because it just gave her something to focus on, and she just loved making them and actually feeling like she was making a difference as well. And then someone else mentioned that they suffer with arthritis, so they love knitting, but if they can do something small like a hat, it's got a start and a finish, so they feel like they've really achieved something by making one, which is fantastic. And then I had another lady who, she looks after her grandson after school, and she had a huge basket of different colours of wool, and she just said to her grandson, I'm going to make 100 hats. And he would come home from school and sort the wool, and every single one of that 100 was a different combination of colour or pattern. And that was her goal that she wanted to do, this 100, each one different.
Wow.
So the different reasons why people get involved.
It's great to hear about it. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, we're going to meet some people from the groups, particularly the one in Quedgley, which I know is a really active group, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
Going to meet the person in charge of that, who we have met before. But also, as we're coming up towards Christmas, so this is one campaign that's gone very well, but there's a Christmas song coming out. Well, sort of. You're partnering with a local singer.
We are. So Ellie Scrivens. She's a local musician.
Yeah.
She actually used to work for us at Age UK Gloucestershire, but she's way too talented, so she's gone off to make this music. Her latest single, which is released on the 7th of November, there's a really powerful video to accompany it that focuses on loneliness. And we know that this is a really big issue in the community amongst older people, which is only going to increase with the ageing population getting larger. And actually in Gloucestershire, it's set to be higher than than the national average. So we know that it's an issue. This video really highlights how it's a kind of an issue that's sort of right in front of us, really, but we don't really notice it a lot of the time. And it's really appealing to people to take action in their own communities if they see somebody that's lonely. So we hope that people will be really moved by the video. I think they will be.
Well, if it's coming out at Christmas time, a moving Christmas... So is it a Christmassy song to go with it?
It's called Photographs in the Biscuit Tin.
Right. So I don't know from what you've just said whether it's Christmassy or not.
It's certainly when you see the video, it is themed around Christmas.
Okay.
Yes,
so festive
themed.
But about a biscuit tin. But it'll all become clear when it
will
gets
become clear.
released.
You can see the video on the 10th of November when it's released. So if you look out on our social media and website, you'll be able to see it, and also on Ellie's website, elliescrivensmusic.com, and her socials.
Amazing. So she used to work for you. So you're obviously following her journey into music now.
It's very exciting, and we're so pleased that she's offered to partner with us on this, because it's such an important issue.
And so money being raised again for Age UK?
Yes, I mean, if people feel moved to donate, we'd be really grateful for that. But it is about letting people know that we're there to support them. If they do feel lonely, they can contact us. But equally, for people to really start noticing in their own communities how they can help people themselves.
So it's awareness really as well.
So it's about awareness as much as it is about anything else.
Very interesting.
And to let people know where we are, how they can reach us.